shoulders on it. Bro, why it's so heavy? Look at my hand. Trying to hold this up, bro. 18 hours every day.
Return. This is light chain. Light chain is used for children or babies. Please, they have to put this iron brand into fire. When it's very hot, they pierce their lips.
The lip?
Yeah. While they fix this, I use a small padlock to hook it up for them not to be able to eat while working in sugarcane plantation or to communicate when whatever they are working.
Did you know they didn't just enslave our bodies? They butchered our tongues for trying to keep our language alive. Let's go deeper, because this ain't in your school books. From the 1600s to the 1800s, it was law in slaveholding states that enslaved Africans could not speak their native languages. Why? Because language is power. Language connects memory. Language builds rebellion. And they feared our connection more than they feared our strength.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way, whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
This was the last view for many enslaved Africans. It's called the Door of No Return. The Elmina slave castle in Ghana was a place of unimaginable horror for enslaved Africans. The castle was designed to hold thousands of captives in cramped and unsanitary conditions. The slaves were subjected to extreme physical and psychological abuse, including beatings, R-word, and torture. Many were forced to work long hours in the castle's dungeons with little food or water. The mortality rate was high, and thousands of enslaved Africans died in the castle before they could be sold into slavery. The Elmina slave castle stands as a dark reminder of the brutal history of the transatlantic slave trade.
Say, the stubborn people who are alive after 1 week here, Caribbean island gonna be them destination, like Haiti, Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, and I think that's why they still stubborn people by the DNA. Yeah.
Party time,
and see them slave castles so you can see what they did to us. You got to see what they did to us. You got to see how they built these dungeons underground and they put these churches on top and they dug holes in the ground to pump the music of what they call their Christianity into the holes while, man, they did, let me explain something to y'all. They walk them as far as they can first to make them lose weight. They put them in a room, then they cut a door, and after you've been in this room in 2 weeks, they walk you through this door. If you look
I often forget about this part of the slave trade, the part that started in Africa. Getting captured from your village, being barefoot, naked, and chained, walking for hundreds of miles with almost no food, the last bath, the horrors of the slave dungeon, the ships. When I imagine their suffering, it hurts me to my core.
How bad was slavery, Daisy? How bad?
It couldn't be any worse there. I just keep trying to tell you. Can anything be any worse when a white man was having children by the Negro slave women and then putting them up for sale on the block? My father, they wanted to sell my father for a breeder for $12,000 when he was 12 years old. And old Golden, John Golden, was the risk planter. He wouldn't sell him for that. This lady that was in this room this morning is from New Orleans, one of the women. Just this past 2 weeks, she found this picture of my father down in New Orleans, that she's bringing it to me now. I'm going to have a copy of it, of my father.
Great. What regiment did he fight in, Daisy?
1st New Jersey Cavalry. When he ran away, my father was on the plantation working for his master, and he with 27 other boys ran away, swam across the Rappahannock River, and joined the 1st New Jersey Cavalry.
I just could not live beside them. I don't feel that they should be oppressed. But I moved here, one of the main reasons was because it was a white community. And that's the only place I intend to live. If I have to leave Levittown, I will do so.
Personally, my home life, it has an effect nothing whatsoever. But on the neighbors, they have a right. Because the average white person living in Levittown has 4 and 5 children. Well, let's put it this way. If the Levittown is migrated in hordes of Negroes, which they have a right to come here, but if something that happens that way, pretty soon my neighbor will be having a Negro son-in-law or a daughter-in-law.
Now, that was the 1950s, Levittown, Pennsylvania.
Can you see by the blood in the streets that this place doesn't smile on you, colored child, whose blood built this land?